In this demonstration, we will be discussing Vonage Integration Suite for Zendesk, the latest offering on the Vonage Integration Suite platform through Vonage Business Communications. This integration allows you to tie your Vonage Business Communications extension directly into your Zendesk credentials, allowing you to more easily and effectively log calls and tickets. Let's take a look. The Vonage Integration Suite is available on Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge, and Firefox. In this demonstration, we will be leveraging Google Chrome. You will receive an email with an invite to sign up and download the integration suite, leveraging a one-time sign-in code. Once you've done this, you'll see in the upper right-hand corner the Vonage Integration Suite platform icon. Once clicked, you will see the pop-up window that shows you several items. The first tab shows you your call history. This will reflect all calls from the Vonage Business Communication System on your extension, but more importantly will show any matching contact information that is stored inside of Zendesk. If you have any calls that are multiple matches or are unknown, you will see them reflected as such in the system. The good news is you can simply click on these and add that contact information if you need to, simply by clicking on Add User. And this will allow you to add any phone number information that you need to add. In this case, we will be going down through the system. You can see here my account information and how I'm logged in. You can see I have a dial pad, which allows me to more effectively dial the number or copy and paste from another location to make calls. I also have a favorites section, which allows me to mark favorites for people that I call most often. I also have the ability to connect multiple CRMs and productivity suites to the system. As you can see here, I have multiple connected. However, we will focus specifically on the Zendesk. I also have the capability as a user to go in and modify how my integration suite works for me. I can turn off click to dial. I can add web launcher, which allows me to open an additional website during the course of a call. I can leverage speech recognition so that if I'm doing my calls from a computer and I have a headset or a microphone, I can simply dictate my notes into the system. I can also hide my call history or my fast dial favorites, and there's also an additional free call notes section provided by Vonage that will store those notes in our secure server. You also have an announcement system that will let you know any upcoming changes to the system or any changes that have recently happened, as well as a feedback section that allows you to go in and provide feedback on your experience on the integration, as well as make feature requests. The profile button allows you as an administrator of the Vonage Integration Suite to go in and look at an administrative web portal. You also have the ability to see your own reports as an individual user, which will show your inbound and outbound calls as well as the summary metrics. Again, we have an account button that shows how we're logged into the account. And we have a settings button that allows us to go in and further customize our interaction with the integration suite. For example, the auto pop-up call activity window. In my case, I have it completely disabled. However, as an end user, you may want to have the screen pop when you answer an inbound call or when you place an outbound call. You can make these changes live, click save and close, and on the next inbound call or outbound call, it will take the activity that you selected. You also have the ability to synchronize your contacts, and this would really only be used if you had made an entry into the Zendesk system rather than the Vonage Integration Suite system. You can click this button to refresh and actually see that data in the Vonage Integration Suite. However, we recommend while using the integration that you make these changes from inside the integration suite. That way it's published to both places at the same time. You also have the ability to exclude URLs in your system. So if you have internal websites that you visit that you don't want Click to Dial to work on, you can simply add those websites in here. More importantly, you can modify your window appearance. Perhaps you don't want the desktop notification to pop up for Vonage Integration Suite when a call comes in. You only want to see the Vonage Business Communications pop out. You can disable that here. You can also make this pop out that we're looking at right now small, large, or custom, and your activity window the same. You can make it small, large, or custom. So let's take a look. In this example here, I just recently placed a call into the system. When the call pops up, you can see that a ticket was automatically generated and that notes were automatically filed into the system on that ticket because I found a single matching contact. If I want to see this information inside Zendesk, I can simply click here on this little box with an arrow, or I can click on the main button to open in Zendesk. When I do it in Zendesk, it will bring me straight into the agent information and show me this specific record, or I can simply go back and look at the contact and see all of their activity in here. You can also see, if I click on these notes, that I have the exact same information that I had before. If I pull these up side by side, you will see that they match. I can add comments from inside this system by simply saying add comment. This is another added comment. And click save. And you can see it instantly shows up, and I can conversely send a public reply from inside Zendesk and it will post it in here. More importantly, I have the ability to go in and click on the history button, which allows me to see all of my interaction with this particular customer. This allows me to more quickly and effectively click on the button and open up the tickets side by side. So for example, if your customer were calling in about a support case and they called in yesterday, I can see that in my history button, and that allows me to go in and look at the prior information and ask them if it is pertaining to that same case or not, all without having to go into Zendesk directly. However, it should be noted that this history button will only show you the history of your interaction between you and that customer. It does not reflect any interaction they had with other users, so you would need to go into Zendesk to see that further information. Also on this pop-up window, you can see that I have call control. I can call the customer back from here, I can end the call, I can place them on hold, and I can transfer the call, all from inside the system. Now, in a case where you might have multiple matches, you can click on this home button and it will show those multiple matches. This is effective if you have a situation where you have 5 users calling from the same company and they're presenting the same caller ID. I want to make sure that that is being logged to the appropriate user, so I can simply drag and drop their name into the ticket section, and that will allow me to go in and create a ticket based off of their information. And again, I can also add users from within this system at any time. So let's go ahead and take a look about the customization, because you do have the option to customize what you see in this layout, and we'll do that from the administrative side of the fence. So once I go over to the administrative side of the fence, I have several options available to me. The first is the call summary. This is going to show me the call metrics for all of the users that are using Zendesk integration on my system right now. So I can see my total inbound and outbound calls, as well as my total talk time inbound and outbound. Most importantly, it shows me my intervals by date, so I can actually see where my highs and lows for my call activity are, and that will also help me forecast my staffing so that I make sure I'm appropriately staffed at those busier times. I can customize the date and time ranges, as well as the direction and interval. And if I want to put this up on a secondary screen, I can automatically refresh this and it will keep this up to date throughout the day. If I want to look at individual users, I can click on the Users tab and see their interaction individually. And if I have a large team, I can simply type in the name or names of people that I want to see, and it will filter everyone else out. Once I have that information set, I can click on Call Detail Records, and it will show me all of the call logs from the Vonage Business Communications System for those calls, as well as any matching contacts that were found inside of the Zendesk system, so I can easily see how many times people have called. I can export this information as a CSV and more further filter that inside of Excel or Google using filtering or pivot tables. From the account perspective, I can go in and see all of my users and the status of their license if they're active or pending. I have the ability to go in and send them their activation code if for some reason their spam threw that email out. They can go in and log in using the unique code. I can resend their welcome email if for some reason they didn't get it. Most importantly, I can synchronize a full sync on my contacts. This is different than the end user version I showed you earlier, which only changes your metadata. This will be a full synchronization, meaning it's going to send all of the information regardless of what it already has stored. So it will give you a full picture of your contacts in the Zendesk system. So let's talk a little bit about customizing the system. So in Zendesk, if I click on the actual Zendesk name, this is going to show me what my default activities are, in this case, tickets. However, I also have the capability to say that I want to automatically log zero duration calls. So if I want to log a call or open a ticket for a customer that called in but nobody answered, I might want to do that. Do I want to automatically log a ticket for an individual matched contact? This is helpful because it will automatically log that activity if all you did was take the call and hang up and you didn't store any notes. I also have the capability to log multiple matches. However, most customers don't use this feature because they don't want to have 10 tickets opened for one call when they talk to one person. You also have the ability to put a check mark in there if you have voice enabled on Zendesk. The next stage in the customization process is clicking the first small button. This allows you to see where you're pulling your information to sync your contacts from and what type of activities. In this case with Zendesk, you only have the capability to do tickets. The final option is customizing the actual window that you see when the pop-up comes up. So let's take a look at that. When I go in and look at my ticket field, it's going to pull up all of the fields that are in my instance of Zendesk. You can see here I have additional optional fields, so I can click to show them all. I can go in at this point and I can drag and drop these areas wherever I want them to be, what order I want them to be. I can also click on the gear to tell it, is it a required field, is it a visible field, or is it an excluded field? And you can see on the left-hand side, I have several excluded fields already that we are ignoring. Once I've built it out the way I want it to be for my team, I can simply rename this layout and save a copy of it. Now, the next time I get my screen pop, I can actually go into the system and I can go in and change the field view. So, for example, if I go in and say I want to create a new ticket, if I change these fields, you will see that it dynamically changes the layout of the system. We hope that you've enjoyed this demonstration of the Zendesk integration for Vonage.